All right, welcome back to BSTV. Bachelor finale is over.
It wasn't so good, but it was pretty good.
I thought it summed up the season perfectly. Massive letdown.
Yeah, you didn't like the season.
Clayton's just such a terrible pick. So I'm just going to sum up basically what happened and then we'll talk. So basically, Clayton realizes he still loves Susie. He writes her a note and then he goes and visits Gabby and Rachel and breaks up with them both at the same time, which both girls were insulted by and said, I thought I deserved better. Maybe a one-on-one. Gabby didn't want to talk to him at all. Both basically accused him of saying things like basically leading them on and pretending they actually had a chance when they were the backup plan. He begged them to stay on the show, not go home. And then he breaks up with them anyways at the same time and doesn't give them any respect. Gabby completely tells him off. Then in the studio, he has to sit down and talk with both of them one-on-one. And Gabby just tells him, like, you're a liar. I don't believe anything you say.
Both of them actually.
Yeah, both of them say that. Mm-hmm. But then Susie drops the big bomb and is like,
Rachel.
Yeah, sorry. And is like, so when you told me I was the first person you said you loved in 6 years, I love you too, was that just so I'd sleep with you in the fantasy suite? And he's like, no, of course it was. The guy's been lying all season. Like, the guy totally played the whole season like he was a college fraternity. He was just going to sleep with and hook up with as many girls as he could. And then, I guess, find a partner to do the Bachelor tour for a year afterwards. Mm-hmm. So then, him and Susie meet, and Susie's in the wedding dress, it looks like. Remember when they meet?
She wasn't. They always wear white.
Okay, they always wear white. Okay.
Or like a light color.
Yeah, and then he's like, to show you how serious I am, here's a ring. But I'm not going to propose. And then she's like, I'm just not there, and she leaves. And she's like, we're done. And he's like begging her, and she's like, I'm done. And then in the studio, is there anything else I should recap before I say where we're at right now?
No, I think you did.
So Susie comes back, and they're together, but they're not engaged.
Yeah, they're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah. So what do you think of all that?
So I said this earlier. The Bachelor has a process that you have to go through, right? So you have to go through the fantasy suites, and you don't have to, and then you end up doing an additional one-on-one when there's only 2 girls left, and then he chooses who's going to propose to, or she. Most Bachelor and Bachelorettes know who they're going to choose even before the last one-on-one dates, right? Like the last date before he actually or she actually proposes. So to say that he led both of those girls on, yes, with his words, but that's part of the show. Like, he needed to see this show through, and that's part of the conditions, I'm assuming, for it to be on The Bachelor. Like, you have to go through all these steps to get to the last person that you want to be with. So yes, they said to him, you should have been more honest with us and say, I'm not just keeping you here just like as a backup plan, because really the other person in all the Bachelor, Bachelorettes are the backup plan, right? He just didn't go about it in the right way. He shouldn't have said and divulged all the information about Susie and his relationship. Like, that should have been confidential, just because if you do date multiple people, you're not telling them about other relationships that you do have. So he should have kept that on the DL. And there has been instances on The Bachelorette. This was like, I forgot who it was, but this was like going back years ago. I'm going to say 15 years ago. And there was this one Bachelorette, and she actually went to the final rose ceremony and chose none of the guys, both guys. So, I mean, it does happen. Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't know. The whole season.
So I think you just made a lot of excuses for Clayton, or got inside his head and told his point of view. No, because like we said I'm
not making excuses for him. No, I'm just saying that it's part of the Bachelor process.
You're giving his point of view.
Right, but that's like on The Bachelor.
The whole time, Clayton's been going by the Bachelor rules, and the girls have been going by real life rules. Like, no, you don't do that in a relationship. And he's like, but it's The Bachelor.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he just divulged too much information. He shouldn't have not done that. Like, I am not excusing the fact that he did that, and I'm not excusing his character because that was wrong. I'm just saying that he did go through the actions that he was supposed to go through as like as per the Bachelor.
And
or
I think
Bachelorette.
that the Bachelor and Bachelorette have some leeway on things. Like people do send people home before the fantasy suite. Not everybody sleeps with everybody. I'm not saying that's Clayton's fault that he did. You have the option to if the other person wants to.
Yeah.
But people do send people home.
Yeah, they do, but it's happened where it doesn't.
And I do believe there are people who go into the final 3 or 4 and don't know exactly who they're going to choose. They usually have one person they know they're not going to choose.
For sure, but then if you go back on like looking at the after rose ceremonies and they're like, "Oh, I knew it was you." From
I think the girl's main problem here was that he clearly liked Susie. And he clearly would have chose one of them if Susie didn't come back. And then just lead them on even further.
But Susie wasn't back.
But they both... but he went and asked her.
Yeah, but that was after the girls left.
Yeah, but...
Okay, anyways, moving on.
I got to rethink my thoughts.
Okay, you could keep rethinking. But anyways, it was a mess.
Okay, sorry. What I meant was if
okay.
Susie had left Iceland already and he didn't have that option, he would have chose one of them.
I don't think so.
I think so. I think he would have chose one of them. And that I think if Gabby would have not came back and then it was just Rachel back and Susie left, he would have chose Rachel.
Yeah.
That's where I think the girls were upset.
Well,
but anyways, we do have a couple of things to discuss. One, I was wrong. Teddy is not dating one of Clayton's brothers.
Nope, he just slid into her DMs and they won't say who.
But Clayton is calling BS on social media, or at least he was before he took down all the social media accounts because apparently he's been getting a lot of backlash on the season. But he was calling BS and saying, Teddy, show the DMs because both my brothers are denying sending you a message. So he's saying Teddy's making this up. I don't know. Anyways, also, they announced the new Bachelorette. And it's 2 Bachelorettes.
Yeah, so I said maybe it's Gabby because I don't mind Gabby.
And I said maybe they would make the worst choice ever if they went with Gabby.
Well, anyways, it's both of them, Gabby and Rachel.
So
it's like a Joe Millionaire, I think, premise.
Yes. So it seems like the 2 of them are going to date the same 30 guys, and they could potentially argue over we both want the same guy.
Yeah, for sure. Or the guy may want to choose one girl over the other.
So I do think this will work out very well because I think Gabby has a good personality, and I think Rachel's a bit boring, but Rachel's far more attractive for The Bachelor. And I think it will be a good chemistry between them where Rachel needs someone to push her more with Gabby has good like banter and chops and talking with people.
Yeah, she's really, really well spoken. I'm excited to see how they're going to play this out. It's they need to look at Joe Millionaire if they're going to do this proper. Joe Millionaire needs a little bit of polishing.
Maybe they
also.
did look at Joe Millionaire and they said that we're onto something here. Let's do a little twist.
But I do like it because they have to make up for the last few seasons because the last few seasons were meh.
Because this is kind of what happens in the corporate world. You see some competitor, you copy them and do it better and get rid of them.
For sure.
So maybe that's what they're doing. They're scared of Joe Millionaire. Maybe Joe Millionaire got really good ratings.
I like Joe Millionaire.
Yeah, me too.
Joe Millionaire, you better come up with something good and with another season fast. Quick time.
All right. Anything else?
Nah.
All right, BS TV, like, subscribe, leave a comment. And subscribe. We see you watching.
Yes.